Hello, everybody. Welcome to Megan, Duchess of Advocacy World podcast. I am your host, Special K Thoughts, aka Special K, better known in the world of X, formerly known as Twitter. Well, I thought I would go ahead and do a podcast because, there's just a lot of news in the world of success, right? There's a lot of news in the world of success. Squatties all across the land. I know you guys are aware of the Byline Times article, world exclusive, entitled The Truth About Megxit, right? And you talk about explosive. Child, this is explosive, okay? If you have not downloaded this article, please do. Of course, you got to pay for it. Byline Times, they are a news media outlet out of the UK. We all know they exposed Dan Wooten's nasty ass. They had done, I think it was like a 2 to 3 year investigation on his professional and personal life, and it came out. Well, they discovered and revealed that Dan Wooten is a sexual deviant, basically, right? I mean, he's an alleged sexual deviant. He was basically online using this character called Martin Branning, and he was luring men basically to um, have sex while he was videotaping them. And then, he basically, I believe, was blackmailing these men. He was tricking these men, basically, right? But, nasty sexual deviant nonce. And then on top of that, he's an alleged rapist. I mean, there's like 2 men that have come out saying that he raped them. So, it just goes to show you that Megan haters, right? Fixated, fixated Megan haters are truly sick people. There's something demonic about them. There's something going on in their personal lives to where it's demonic, it's criminal, right? It's foul, it's funky, right? I'm telling you, you talk about London bridges falling down. Girl, London bridges is falling down. Okay? The chickens are coming home to roost on the fixated Megan haters, the people who basically make a career out of hate targeting the Duchess of Success. Okay? Everything is her fault. Everything is her fault, right? It's all her fault. But anyway, guys, this podcast is about the Byline Times jaw dropping, explosive article, and it's entitled "The Truth About Megxit." How Dan Wootton and a Casper leak scandal split the royal family. I did a podcast for our members only, and it we've been new, right? Right, Squaddies? We've been new. Okay, this is nothing new to us. Um, it was a few years ago, right, that um, some articles that come out that Dan Wooten was paying somebody within one of the royal households for stories about Meghan. Right? I remember Dan Wooten, he had posted some stuff on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying that he's never paid for stories and this, that, and the other. And, He dare Prince Harry to come out at him like that because he'll sue or just whatever the case may be. But there's always been suspicion about Dan Wootton. Okay, and it's not just the Success Squad, but even some of his cohorts within the world of journalism have questioned how did this man, who was an entertainment reporter for The Sun, all of a sudden, bam, become a royal reporter, a royal expert, right? Like, when did that happen? And how did he all of a sudden start getting these exclusive big stories on Meghan and Harry, particularly Meghan? Right? Remember the tiara gate? Remember that? Dan Wootton. Which still was a big fat lie, because you've even got some people within the royal household that were saying that that story just simply isn't true. That, that the queen wanted Meghan to choose a tiara. She was all for it. Okay? And the main reason why she was all for it was because when Meghan was having difficulty getting a tiara, the Spencers were like, hey, don't worry about that bullshit. You could wear Princess Diana's tiara. And then, wait a minute, all of a sudden, Queen Elizabeth wanted Meghan to be able to choose a tiara. But then once that happened, then the bitch, Angela Kelly, was giving Meghan a hard time about doing the fitting for the tiara on her head. But anyway. The biggest story, one of the biggest stories that Dan Wootton revealed was, of course, Meghan and Harry's plans to move to Canada. And we all know, Prince Harry said it in the Oprah Winfrey interview that they keep whining about, right? That when they went, after the South African tour, they went to Canada, basically to relax, right? To relax, debrief, and really figure out what they were going to do. Because before the South African trip, as a matter of fact, when Meghan and Harry got married, they straight up let the royal family know that they were only going to do this for 2 years tops anyway. So all that the queen was blindsided bullshit is just bullshit. Right? It's just bullshit. She knew the whole time. Okay? Old Betty knew the whole time. The royal family knew the whole time that Meghan and Harry were not going to be working royals forever. Okay? They knew that. They knew that the time frame for them was going to be about 2 years max. All right. I think what the royal family did not realize, I don't think anybody realized how popular Harry and Meghan were going to be as working royals. But anyway, back to this world exclusive, The Truth About Megxit. How Dan Wootton and Cash for League scandal split the royal family. Okay, so back to the Oprah Winfrey interview. Prince Harry, he revealed after they did the South African tour, they went to Canada to go on vacay. He revealed that they were in talks. Everybody was in talks. They were in talks. People. They were in talks. People. They were in talks. Okay, about Meghan and Harry's plans. Okay, there had been talks all along. There were talks about them moving to South Africa. There were talks about them moving to New Zealand. There were talks about them moving to Canada. But for some reason, whenever they talked about it and plans were almost finalized, it would get leaked. Okay? It would get leaked. All right? So anyway, excuse me. So when Meghan and Harry were in Canada, Prince Harry said during the Oprah Winfrey interview that him and Papa Charles were trying to finalize how Harry and Meghan were going to be able to continue to work in the royal family, right? So King Charles told Prince Harry, hey, put it on paper. And Prince Harry was like, no, I'm not putting it on paper. It's going to get leaked. King Charles was like, son, darling boy, put it on paper. Darling boy, put it on paper. Wada bing, bada boom, bam, it gets leaked. Right? By none other than Dan Wootton. How in the hell did Dan Wootton get the exclusive? Well, obviously, he got the exclusive from somebody within one of the royal households. Either it was Clarence House, King Charles, who was Prince Charles back then, or it was Kensington Palace, right? It was one of those two, okay? So, Prince Harry has always believed that the culprit was Kristen Jones, okay? Jones was the publicist for Prince William. I mean, all roads lead to Prince William, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how all of these stories, one way or another, are always traced back to a royal staff member that is working for Prince William. All right, but Prince Harry believed that it was Kristen Jones, publicist for Prince William. Okay, and of course, Mr. Jones, he denies it all. All right, he denies it, says that absolutely not, he had nothing to do with it. So the Byline Times article, is really focused on the cash for leaks scandal. Okay, so Prince Harry, he always believed that Kristen Jones got paid by Dan Wootton to leak stories. Okay, to leak stories. Dan Wootton was paying Kristen Jones money to give him stories about Prince Harry and Meghan and Archie. Okay, there was just, like I said, there was Tiara Gate. There was been some stories that Dan Wootton has, written about Meghan. There was a story about the nanny, and then of course, Prince Harry and Meghan moving to Canada. So, like I said, Kristen Jones, he denies it. But what's interesting, what's interesting and what really caught my eye about this article, okay, is that at the end of the day, Kristen Jones was paid money. Okay, he was paid money. And during the investigation, right, Kristen Jones, he admitted. He's like, hey, he admitted that he knew Dan Wootton, but he was claiming that, they weren't really that close of friends. And he also admitted that, yes, he's gotten paid for articles, okay? Okay? He admits to receiving the payments. Okay? And these payments were like $4,000 for these stories each, right? I believe it was $4,000 each. So he admits, that yes, he got paid for stories, but he claimed that they were payments for other stories about a reality television star with the similar name to the Duchess of Sussex. Really? Really, Mr. Jones? Really? Like, who is this reality TV star who's got a similar name as the Duchess of Sussex. What? Is her name Megan? Okay, what is the bitch's last name? All right. And you know what? I take that back. I shouldn't call this woman a bitch, okay? Because she's an innocent bystander in all of this. But Mr. Jones, you're gonna have to come better than that, okay? Who is she? Where is she? Show us the article. When was the article published? Where is the article that you got paid for briefing stories about? Where is the article? Who wrote the article? When was the article published? And what paper was the article published, Mr. Jones? It's like, really, dude? Really? But anyway, Kristen Jones, he's going to have to come better than that. Okay, we need to see the facts. Okay, and it's interesting to me that the royal family basically just took what he said, hook, line, and sinker. Didn't ask him to produce what article it was that was written about this reality TV star that's got a similar name than Megan. It's like they didn't even ask for the evidence, and neither did the Metropolitan Police, because supposedly they did an investigation as well. Okay. Bullshit. I call bullshit on it. And so did Prince Harry. Prince Harry did too, because Prince Harry was like, you know what? You guys will believe anything. The Metropolitan Police is not going to do shit about it. So therefore, I'm still going to make Kristen Jones a part of this lawsuit that I have against the Sun. Kristen Jones' name is going to be all up in these legal papers that my attorneys are going to file in regards to this lawsuit against the Sun. Okay, well, King Charles wasn't having it. King Charles, Prince William wasn't having it. And according to the Byline Times article, King Charles retaliated. He retaliated against his own son. He protects Kristen Jones and retaliates against his own son by cutting off the finances, removing the security. Like, who does that? What man would do that against his own child? He protects a royal staff member, but retaliates against his own son and grandson by removing the finances and removing the security. Keep in mind, King Charles right now to this day is paying, I mean, he's literally paying for his brother, who was almost 70 years old, Prince Andrew, the nasty nonce. He is almost 70 years old, and Prince Charles is paying for his security, and he's paying for his living arrangements. Okay? Prince Andrew is living his life like it's golden, rent-free in the Royal Lodge. But then King Charles kicks his grandson and his granddaughter out of Frogmore Cottage. Kicks them out. It didn't matter the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan had paid the lease on Frogmore Cottage. He didn't care about that. He didn't care about that. He kicked him out. Kicked him out. Was like, no, you can't live at Frogmore Cottage anymore. We're talking about Frogmore Cottage that is still empty to this day. Nobody's living in Frogmore Cottage right now as we speak. Nobody's living there. Nobody's paying rent there. Nobody's leasing it. The people that are paying for Frogmore Cottage are the UK citizens. Yeah, the UK citizens that the British press claims hate Meghan Markle. Man, you can't make this shit up. I mean, this has got to be some of the most clownery bullshit that I've seen by a head of state. King Charles is the head of state of the United Kingdom. And this is the kind of games, immature games that he plays with his family's lives. The serious immature games that he plays with his family life. I mean, seriously, do you really want your head of state acting like this? The United Kingdom citizens need to wake up, man. I'm serious when I say this, okay? Y'all need to wake up. It's dangerous when you have a head of state that is scared of their own staff and that is scared of the British press. Because when you have a head of state like King Charles, who was willing to throw his own family underneath the bus and put them in harm's way and place them in dangerous situations to where they can be killed, that same head of state, aka King Charles, will do the same damn thing to the tax-paying British public.